Ever feel like things are way harder than they should be? Like when a simple email turns into a full-blown existential crisis. Or when assembling furniture somehow requires an engineering degree. Success is kind of the same way. It's not supposed to feel like an impossible grind. But somehow, most people make it one. Why? Because they're working harder, not smarter. And today, that's about to change. But what if the problem isn't you? What if the problem is that we're just overcomplicating things? Success shouldn't be this hard. Here's why and how to fix it. The overcomplication trap. Stop complicating things. We all fall into the trap of thinking that success requires complexity. We create elaborate systems, write down 10-page plans, and juggle multiple goals that end up being counterproductive. The reality is, success doesn't need a 50-step process. It just needs a focused plan. It's easy to think that you need to be everywhere, doing everything all at once, but let's be real. Spreading yourself too thin doesn't make you more successful, it just makes you tired. Instead of focusing on all the things, get clear about what actually matters. Focus on the 20% of actions that get you 80% of the results. Cut out the noise, the distractions, and the overcomplicated routines. Stick to the basics that bring real results. Success doesn't have to be a whirlwind. Simplify your approach. The less you complicate, the more you accomplish. The work harder myth. Let's tackle the age-old myth of work harder. We've been sold this idea that if we work more hours, hustle until we drop, and grind like there's no tomorrow, we'll eventually reach the success we want. But guess what? That's not always true. I mean, there are people working 60-hour weeks, barely sleeping, and still not getting the results they want. So why is that? You can work harder all day long, but if you're working in the wrong direction or on the wrong things, all that effort is wasted. It's like trying to run a marathon and somehow ending up back at the starting line. It doesn't matter how fast you're running, you're not getting anywhere. What if, instead of working harder, you worked smarter? Instead of drowning in endless tasks, you focused on the few tasks that really move the needle. And instead of staying busy, you became productive. Work smarter means having clear priorities, making strategic choices, and focusing on activities that give you the most bang for your buck. Stop putting all your energy into busy work. Focus on what truly matters. The power of simplicity. It sounds simple, but it's one of the most underrated keys to success. You don't need a million habits, a dozen planners, or a complicated strategy to succeed. What you need is to keep things simple and consistent. Take the 80-20 rule. 80% of your results come from just 20% of your actions. So why waste time on the other 80%? Instead, prioritize the 20% that gets you the most results. If you're still working on tasks that aren't getting you closer to your goal, it's time to simplify and focus on the right things. You don't need to overthink, overwork, or overcomplicate things. You just need to be clear, consistent, and deliberate with your choices. Consistency is key. Lastly, let's talk about consistency. The secret to success isn't about putting in intense, sporadic bursts of effort. It's about showing up consistently day after day, doing the things that matter. Think about it like this. Success is a marathon, not a sprint. It's not about burning yourself out on a couple of long days. It's about making small progress every single day. Success is built on momentum, and momentum is built on consistency. Stop overcomplicating your goals with impossible standards. It's about staying in motion. Even if you can only move an inch forward, as long as you keep moving, you're still moving ahead. Success isn't supposed to be this hard. The struggle, the grind, it's all unnecessary. Stop complicating things. Stop overworking yourself and start focusing on what actually moves you forward. Make your success simple, smart, and consistent. Success doesn't have to be a war. It can be a journey you can actually enjoy. If this video helped clear things up for you, hit that like button, subscribe, and let us know in the comments. What's the one thing you're going to simplify in your life today? Let's get smarter about success.